At some point, people are going to start traveling again. Maybe in May, maybe this summer, maybe this fall, who knows? But for now, the world's top destinations are looking as empty as those vintage marketing posters. From the Louvre to St. Mark's to the Colosseum, even this made-for-tourist double-decker bus in Paris is empty. Naturally, the industry is bleeding money and feels compelled to chase after just about anything they think could possibly make a difference. But if we could just take a step back and look at one of the big issues here. How is this Corona experiment going to change the way we travel? And what can the travel industry do to help ensure that things get back on track? But before I can answer that, I think maybe we all need to do something super important. Just needed a nice cup of coffee. Okay, I assume everybody's awake now.
On the revenue curve, you will get exactly the same amount of revenue.
Let's start with some basic Corona takeaways. This first one doesn't really make my list because it's so flippin' obvious. But for starters, when this pandemic passes, countries are going to need to get their act together and get better prepared for the next pandemic that sweeps through. That includes better masks, ventilators, supply chains, makeshift hospitals, better communication. Or they could go with Plan B. Do little and use primetime media for political grandstanding.
You said that you don't take responsibility, but you did disband the White House Pandemic Office, and the officials that were working in that office left this administration abruptly. So what responsibility do you take to that? And the officials that worked in that office said that the White House lost valuable time because that office wasn't disbanded.
Well, I just think it's a nasty question. No, to also keep.
Giving it to if it's not to the states.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
How hard is it to ask a tough question about Corona that this president can answer? Excuse me, Mr. President, putting your amazing wartime virus-fighting skills aside for just a moment, what's the most important takeaway from this press conference?
Did you know I was #1 on Facebook? And I just found out I'm #1 on Facebook.
It's time for some solutions. Step 1, tests and health cards. We need to find out who has had the virus and who hasn't, which means we need to test for antibodies. You know, antibodies. In the old days, I used to travel with one of these yellow vaccination cards to show which vaccinations I've had. But what if we had a modern, perhaps digital version of this card that we could show to prove to people that we've had it? If the virus happens to mutate, they could digitally update the expiration and status of our immunity. But the big idea is this. Why not let those of us who've had it help keep the economy going? We could be visiting bars, restaurants, stores, hotels. We could be traveling. It's a pity to keep a bunch of immune people under lockdown when we could be out there fueling the economy and the travel industry. Number 2, standard travel return policies. Airlines, cruise ship companies, countries need to figure out how to get sick people home. We've managed to do this with troops that are sick and wounded for decades. There's no acceptable, legitimate reason that a cruise ship can't dock and let off sick passengers to get hospitalization and medical care. Maybe cruise lines need to be developing makeshift hospitals that they can put up quickly in ports. Airlines need to figure out how to bring special flights in to bring sick people home. But the concept of leaving travelers stranded is not going to instill much confidence to get people out and traveling again. 3, better insurance. This is connected to that last point about bringing people home who have viruses. Thus far, the insurance industry has done a great job helping put our fears to rest. There's cancellation insurance, luggage insurance, they give you legal advice, they can medevac you home in certain situations. Just about every strange injury has some sort of insurance. Now the travel industry needs to work with other key stakeholders, airlines, countries, to figure out a system to get people back home. Number 4, traveling closer to home. As people start venturing out again after this virus, I believe that many will be sticking closer to home. 2 reasons for this. The first is financial. When it comes to previous disruptions, 2016 bombings in Brussels, or the 2002 bombings in Bali, or the 2010 eruption in Iceland, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly.
Ayafaya Pla Yer Gadol. Aya Flya Yakur.
Aya Fia Player Kadul.
Agifalga. Ayafia Playa Kadul.
After disruptions like those, dropping prices doesn't help much, at least according to an Obama advisor who worked at Visa Card. He said that if people are scared to return, they're not going to be less scared when it's 20% off. And those who are willing to return to a place after a disaster, usually happy to support that place. But Corona may be different because it's had such a profound impact on the global economy. People may simply not have as much money to travel. But nothing creates wanderlust like a good lockdown. So domestic and short-haul trips may be more feasible. The second reason is that airlines and countries may be slow to get their act together to institute evacuation policies, and people will feel safer that they can get home in the event of another issue like this pandemic. Number 5, I don't think people's tastes are going to change much after the coronavirus. I don't think they're going to suddenly hate museums or love kayaking just because this pandemic has swept through. But more people might start looking at the health resources of a destination, sort of like my mother did when she was sick. She wanted to know every place we were looking at if they had a good hospital. So places that have good hospitals or a high ventilator per capita may want to start inserting some of that into their marketing. As we recover from this virus, the more the travel industry can do to give travelers peace of mind that they can get the healthcare they need and get home if they need to get home, the more likely they are to start venturing out again sooner. Full disclosure, I've had corona. At least I think so. I was in the Alps when the virus was, well, going viral. Had all the classic corona symptoms. Chills, fever, a few recovery days in between, coughing, breathing difficulties. It'd be nice to know that I had corona behind me. Wish there was some way I could prove it. Not looking for any sympathy.
Yeah, right.
Okay, a little.